Hello, everybody. And you should be able to see my screen. Okay, can you see? It says professionalize your presentations and interviews. Workshop 1 of 4, structure your presentations. I'm going to start off by outlining our main goals today. But I wanted just to mention that, of course, at VivaLing, we do have, some of you are already students. We have French, German, Mandarin, Spanish and English sessions. So if you're not already a student, it would be a great pleasure to have you involved in our classes. But what I'd like to do first is I want to show you a picture of a famous person. Now, maybe this person is Elon Musk. Does anybody think this person is Elon Musk? Yes? No, good. I can see lots of thumbs going down there. Maybe this person is Mark Twain. Well, I can see some thumbs going up. Or maybe this person is Albert Einstein. No, I don't think so. People are not convinced it's not Albert Einstein. Okay, the correct answer is, because you're very culturally aware, congratulations, this person is Mark Twain. But who was Mark Twain? Mark Twain was an American writer who was very famous for creating Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn, which were popular American stories in the late 19th century and beginning of the 20th century. Now, Mark Twain made a lot of money from speaking in public and giving presentations. If you take the money that Mark Twain made in those days and convert it to today's money, he made around $250 million per year. It's a lot of money. He must have been a good speaker. But he said that there were two types of speaker, two types of public speaker. He said that there are the public speakers who are nervous. Lots of people, before they start speaking to lots of people, their hands start shaking, their brain doesn't work because they're nervous, okay? And the other type of public speaker? The other type of public speaker are liars. Why? Because everybody gets nervous before speaking to a group of people. So if Mark Twain made $250 million a year and was nervous when he spoke in public, it's perfectly natural for you and anybody else to do the same. Now, in today's session, I'm just going to outline the structure of the session. We're going to start by looking at some strengths and weaknesses in presentations, how important you think some aspects are. Then we're going to look at 2 examples of a presentation, one person giving a presentation, and I want you to discuss what he does badly in the first and well in the second. We're going to look at signposting or transition language, some expressions that you can include in your presentation. And then we're going to ask you to practice in teams to give short presentations. And at the end, there'll be a special prize for the best team. But you don't know what the prize is, but you will find out at the end of this session. So I can say, oh, hello, and so, oh, hello, Sandrine. Hello, iPad to Lawrence. Okay, just looking through to see everybody's still paying attention. Let's move on. I want to look at the strengths and weaknesses first of all. I'm going to show you the strengths and weaknesses, and I want you to discuss in groups of 4 how important you consider the following aspects of a presentation. So do you think they are always important for any presentation, whether it's academic, business, to a large group of people, to a small group of people? Is it sometimes important? Maybe, for example, it's important in a face-to-face business presentation, but not in an online presentation. Is it rarely important? Maybe in some specific types of presentations? Or, in your opinion, is it not important at all? But what are the aspects? Look, pay attention. They're going to appear, and then you will be sent to breakout rooms to discuss this. Remember that on the virtual handout I gave you, you also have the same list of words. So, a strong, clear voice, a good sense of humor, effective use of body language, colorful slides. This slide at the moment has yellow, black, and blue. But how important is it to have colorful visual elements to your presentation? A dramatic closing statement. So you finish your presentation with a quote, a statistic, something to dramatize the message. A special trick to get the audience's attention at the beginning. A well-structured talk. Some people are very good at speaking. They keep going and their voice and their ideas are good, but there's no structure to the talk. And vocal variety. Sometimes you need to speak a little bit faster. Sometimes you need to slow down. Sometimes you may want to speak quietly, and then you increase the volume for dramatic effect. So this is what you need to do. But Lisa is in charge of VivaLing Connect. She is going to send you to breakout rooms of 4, and I will be dropping in to see how you're doing. You only have 5 minutes for this, no more than 5 minutes, okay? And then you need to come back. So I'll see you in a few minutes, and then we'll come back and see your opinions. Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
Hello.
Okay, so you have successfully completed task 1. I'm going to send you away to task 2. So all of this, we're looking at different things that maybe you can pay attention to when you give your presentations in the second half of this session. But what I'm going to ask you to do now, I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, here we are. Okay. We've discussed the strengths and weaknesses, but now I'm going to ask you to look at a video of one person giving 2 presentations. I want you to pay attention to the differences between his first presentation and his second presentation, and also to talk about the feedback that the professor gives him. So do you like the way that the professor was giving him feedback? The video is, the link to the video is on the virtual handout that I gave you at the beginning of the session. So this is what you have to do. The video takes about 4.5 minutes, and then I want you to discuss it for 2 minutes, and then we're going to come back and start preparing together. Welcome back, everybody. As I said, first we were going to discuss some different elements that you could include in your presentations, then to look at 2 examples and the improvements with the second presentation. The next thing I want to look at is the idea of signposting language. So a presentation is like a journey. So we need to explain where we're going. If we don't, the passengers start to get nervous. So are we making progress? And we need to tell our passengers when we're getting to the end of the journey to give them a sense of completion and satisfaction. I have some examples of phrases which you can use in different parts of the presentations. I'm going to go through these with you and ask you to complete the phrases. So be ready, because if I say your name, you can unmute and answer my questions. The first one, we have 3 different expressions for setting off or for starting a presentation. So you need to complete the sentence with giving, asking, or outlining. I'm going to start off by outlining our main goals today, giving you a brief overview, asking you all a question. Congratulations, Catalina. Correct. Well done.
Happy face.
Okay. So the next one is making progress. So this is when we are during the presentation, we want to change the subject or to go through the presentation. Okay, Margot, you got the first one right. So let's move on to the main subject today. The second would be the opposite. So you could say to return for a moment to the question, but it would be turning for a moment to the question to return because of the grammar. Thank you, Margot, and my apologies for putting you on the spot. So going into detail, we have 3 more. Okay, it's the other way around. Don't worry. But yeah, you could, because both expand and focus, you follow with the preposition on. So your idea is close, but this idea, focus on what that really means. Okay, so we've got one more. Let's see, coming to the end. So perfect, Isabel. Thank you very much. Excellent. Okay, so what I'm going to ask you to do now, this is a very simple structure that we can practice in teams using an opener, stage 1, stage 2, and a simple conclusion. I'm going to ask Lisa, to put you in breakout rooms of 4, if possible. And I want you to choose a topic to create a mini presentation on now. So you make a mini structure. You decide we're going to have the introduction, we're going to have point 1, point 2, and a conclusion. Decide in your group who will be responsible for which part. So maybe Marie-Noël will do the introduction. Miriam will do the main point, the first main point. Cynthia will do the third point, and then Laurence, for example, will do the fourth. You can choose the topic from here. You could talk about some of the examples that I suggest, or your own idea. Select some signposting language expressions to include, and then in your group, you can practice delivering the presentation. So try to, if you look at all of this, whoopsie daisy, all of this is on the virtual handout that I sent you, the same instructions. So try to include an example of signposting language. Try to start and finish the presentation with an interesting fact, a joke, or a call to action. Try to deliver the presentation clearly and without speaking too quickly or slowly. Practice the presentation in your groups. That's the most important thing. You don't have to give the presentation to the whole group here. You can practice in your groups, and I will go in, and me and Lisa will go in and out of the groups. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I was with breakout room 1, so I have to say congratulations to my group for getting a very coherent, well-organized team presentation. In 10 minutes, it was very quick, but the structure was very clear. You managed to use some of the phrases as well. I'm sure that Lisa told me that the other groups also did very well. Catalina, did your group manage to complete a mini presentation?
We had the structure ready, and each one of us were in charge of one section of the presentation, and we were delivering our ideas. But we were in the process of not making any grammar mistake.
We have to come back again next month and improve what we worked on. So we have the mini structures. So the idea is that this and next month is on the same theme, also looking at presentations. So we can take what we created today. If you didn't finish, don't worry. We can add more things onto it next time, and we'll have more time to make sure that we can finish it at the end of the session next week. So let me see, who was in a different group? Yushan, were you in the same group?
I'm with Mary and Cynthia. Yeah, okay. And we finished the presentation.
Hooray! Congratulations. Now, I know that I need to finish now because Lisa has to say something to you before we finish today. But I think it's important to realize that we can continue to work on this next month as well. Mm-hmm. Lisa, do you have some questions you wanted to ask?
Yes, I would like to ask all the participants to send me in a private message too. So you can select send chat to everyone, or you can send a message to the host only. The email address with which you've registered for this event, because in the eventuality you attend the 4 next workshops with Tom, you will be eligible for the draw, and you might win a €199 package at VivaLing. So that's a lot of sessions with our fantastic coaches. So just send me in a private message if you can now. Perfect, I see some of them coming. So I can track your attendance, and if you're following us and coming to the next ones, then you will be eligible. The next workshop with Tom will be on the 21st of April. Same time, so book a slot on your agenda if you want to attend and participate. And we will open the registrations very soon. So you will get to know about it in the newsletter, on our social media. So just watch this space and you should find everything over there. That's it from me, Tom. Thank you.
Yeah, and remember that at the end of the presentation, or the end of the session, you can either have a joke, or you can have an interesting statistic, or a call for action. So today, I think the best thing is to do a call for action. So my call for action is that, yeah, if you found this useful, to discuss the ideas and to put them together to produce something more cohesive. Next month, we're going to be looking at how to improve your vocal variety and also some rhetorical tricks. So the ways that you can repeat words a number of times, or the way that you can include certain techniques in your presentation to make it more effective. We'll take what you started today and we'll improve it next month. So we'll come back to the same thing, and I'll have a look at what the other groups have done. And I'll look forward to seeing you all again next month, hopefully.